Thanks for staying tuned to WION. This is Speed News. I'm Samiksha Srivastava. We begin with the top stories. President Donald Trump says there are no talks or conversations taking place or scheduled with Iran. Trump also said that the US naval blockade remains in effect while claiming that the Strait of Hormuz is now open and operating. And this while Iranian parliament speaker said that the Strait of Hormuz will not be opened unless the United States fulfills its commitments under the US-Iran Memorandum of Understanding. Also, Ghalibaf listed some of the conditions under the MOU for the waterways reopening as a lifting of the anti-Iran naval blockade, releasing Iranian frozen assets, removing oil sanctions and stopping threats and military operations on all fronts. The United States sought to establish a deconfliction mechanism between Israel, Turkey and Syria following an Israeli strike on a Syrian air base. US envoy Tom Barak said that efforts to maintain calm help prevent the situation from escalating further. Washington aimed to reduce the risk of further clashes and maintain communication between the countries. President Donald Trump has chosen White House policy aide Heather Overton to lead the Food and Drug Administration, according to sources. Overton currently serves as Deputy Director of the White House Domestic Policy Council and previously worked at the America First Policy Institute. She holds a medical degree from the University of New Mexico and pursued clinical investigation research training at the Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health. The FDA has been led by Acting Commissioner Kyle DeMantis since May. Following the departure of Marty McCarray, Overton's nomination would require Senate confirmation as well. South Korea and the United States will cut the duration of their annual joint military drills to 5 days from 11 earlier and scale back some field training. And this is the allies were quoted as saying, ULCI Freedom Shield exercise, which began on August 17, will now run through August 21 instead of the originally planned end date of August 27th. The changes follow President Donald Trump's order to substantially reduce US participation in the drills. The second phase, involving counterparts operations, is expected to be cancelled, significantly reducing the scale of the annual drills. Russia says a Ukrainian drone strike near the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant killed one person and injured 17 others, mostly nuclear power plant workers. The attack followed a Russian strike on Ukraine's Kharkiv region that killed 10 people. Kiev vowed retaliation as Russian and Ukrainian forces continued to exchange strikes. Ukraine's ousted defense minister Mikhailo Fedorov has called for elections during wartime, citing what he described as governance crisis. The move marks a major internal challenge to President Volodymyr Zelensky since Russia's full-scale invasion. Fedorov's call comes as Ukraine continues to operate under martial law, with elections currently restricted. Bolivia's Congress has voted to censure Economy Minister Jose Gabriel Espinozo, a move that is likely to force his removal and deal a fresh blow to President Rodrigo Paz. Lawmakers backed the motion after Espinozo failed to appear before Congress to answer questions on economic management, monetary policy and macroeconomic planning. Under Bolivia's constitution, the president has 24 hours to remove the minister. Espinozo has said that he will challenge the decision before the country's constitutional tribunal, arguing that the procedures may have been violated. The vote also comes as Paz's government seeks support for economic reforms and a financing program with the International Monetary Fund. Thailand's Prime Minister Anutin Charnvirakul received a ceremonial welcome at Australia's Parliament House in Canberra. He he inspected the guard and joined Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese for the national anthem and delegation greetings. He also signed the Visitors Book and greeted students waving Thai and Australian flags. The two leaders are set to hold bilateral talks and give press statements later on Wednesday. At least 25 people were killed in an overnight attack on a village in Nigeria's Plateau state. The deadly assault raised fears of further retaliatory violence in the restive region. Authorities are now expected to investigate the attack as tensions still remain high in the area. Indian envoy to Bangladesh, Dinesh Trivedi, has said that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has proposed a meet with Bangladesh Prime Minister Tariq Rahman. Trivedi says that direct engagement between the two leaders could potentially help address bilateral differences and respond to the concerns of the people in both the countries. The proposed meeting comes as India and Bangladesh seek to strengthen dialogue and improve bilateral relations. In India, a massive fire broke out at a hotel in Kolkata, killing 9 people, including children. The hotel is located in Mirza Ghalib Street near the New Market area. Several people were trapped inside the building. 9 were rescued in an unconscious state but later died. 6 others suffered from smoke inhalation and were hospitalized. The fire was suspected to have started after an air conditioning unit burst. The incident came days after a fire at a hotel near the Tarapath temple in West Bengal's Birbhum district. Chief Minister Vijay led Tamil Nadu government to extend the maternity leave window for its women employees having their third child. Tamil Nadu's Minister for Human Resources, D. Sarath Kumar, made the announcement in the State Assembly extending the leave from 12 weeks to 365 days. At present, married women in government employment with less than 2 children are granted 365 days or 1 year of maternity leave, while those with 2 or more children get up to 12 weeks of such leave. The 365-day benefit will be applicable to regular women employees with less than 2 surviving children as per the standard eligibility framework. A massive fire broke out at a recycling centre in Bermondsey in South London. Fire crews are continuing to tackle the blaze with multiple fire engines and emergency teams at the scene. Huge plumes of smoke have been seen rising over the area as firefighters have been working to bring the fire under control. Authorities have not yet released details on the cause of the fire or any reported injuries. Chile has declared a state of catastrophe in northern province of Tocopilla after heavy rainfall triggered flooding and landslides. In Tocopilla, rushing mud and water swept away vehicles, flooded streets and forced residents to evacuate. Police and emergency crews worked to move people to safety and clear mud from affected areas. Chilean President Jose Antonio has declared the constitutional state of catastrophe for Tocopilla province, making additional human and material resources available. In the nearby coastal city of Pepoco, Chile's disaster agency has ordered evacuations amid active ravens and the threat of mudslides. Water and mud have entered houses and blocked roads as emergency crews worked to clear affected areas. Emergency alerts urged people in the the POXO aid sector to evacuate as authorities worked to clear mud from roads and reduce the risk to the community. A 5.9 magnitude earthquake struck China's central Qinghai province. According to the US Geological Survey, that is, the quake hit the prefecture at a depth of 10 kilometers. There were no immediate reports of casualties or damage. Heavy rainfall has triggered landslides and disrupted roads across parts of Peru. In Ilo, a landslide swept away a vehicle and split a road into two, while in Arequipa, vehicles were left stranded in the mud. Authorities have warned people to postpone travel, citing the risk of further landslides and road damage. The Peruvian government has declared a state of emergency in several regions and districts to speed up relief and rescue efforts. Temporary shelters, health services and emergency equipment have also been deployed in affected areas. Heavy snowfall has disrupted parts of Bolivia's Andean highlands, stranding vehicles, closing roads and forcing market vendors to abandon their stalls. Snow has blanketed several departments including Paz, Potosi and Tarija, with transport services being suspended on some routes as well. The cold weather has also put livestock at risk, with more than 165,000 livestock in the region facing starvation as snow has covered grazing areas. Authorities have deployed emergency feed and supplies to affected communities, while heavy machinery has been working to clear snow-covered roads. In remote areas, residents have launched rescue efforts to reach livestock cut off by the severe weather. In Japan, deadly summer has forced farmers to change the way they work, with some shifting to nighttime and early morning hours. In Tochigi, flower farmers are harvesting at night or starting before dawn to avoid the worst of the daytime heat. Poultry farmers are also adjusting their routines, feeding chickens during cooler hours and using cooling systems to reduce heat stress, with temperatures topping 35 degrees Celsius on many days. Farmers even say that the heat is making it harder to protect both workers and livestock. President Donald Trump said that he has paused plans to impose 50% tariffs on Canadian goods for 3 days. The president made the announcement on his Truth Social platform, saying that the pause followed last-minute negotiations between the United States and Canada. Trump even said that the two countries had reached a deal subject to finalizing documents, adding that the Keystone XL pipeline, previously blocked under former President Joe Biden, could be revived in the days to come. From the world of business, Asian markets fell on Wednesday as a global bond sell-off and higher oil prices weighed on investor sentiment. South Korea's Kospi is down nearly 5%, while Japan's Nikkei 225 lost just over 2%. Australia's S&P ASX 200 also edged lower in trade. US stock futures were largely flat after Wall Street extended losses for third straight session. The Nasdaq fell 1.3%, while the S&P 500 and Dow Jones also closed in the red. Investors are now awaiting the latest Fed meeting minutes and a fresh round of retail earnings. Oil prices rose for a fourth straight session on Wednesday as uncertainty over shipping through the Strait of Hormuz kept investors on edge. Brent crude climbed to $91.28 a barrel, while US West Texas Intermediate rose to $85.31. Markets remained focused on conflicting statements from Washington and Tehran over whether the key shipping route had reopened. Hopes of US-Iran peace deal have faded while Iran has adopted a more aggressive military stance. Traders are also awaiting official US inventory data for fresh supply signals. Gold prices inched higher in early Asian trade on Wednesday as US Treasury yields eased from recent multi-decade highs. Spot gold rose close to $4,350 an ounce, while US gold futures for December delivery edged lower in trade. Investors are now focused on the release of the Federal Reserve's latest meeting minutes for clues on the central bank's interest rate path. Rising oil prices and uncertainty over the US-Iran conflict continue to shape market sentiment. Traders are currently seeing a 35% change of a Fed rate hike in September. China is expanding the use of a $1.6 trillion sovereign wealth fund to support domestic spending, including measures that are aimed at reviving the country's weak property market. The move comes as China's real estate sector continues to struggle with property investment falling 19.2% in the first 7 months of the year. The government is now looking to use more of its financial resources to boost consumer confidence and stabilize the housing market. The fund managed by China Investment Corporation is among the country's largest sources of state capital. Meta is facing a landmark federal trial over allegations that Facebook and Instagram were designed to encourage excessive and compulsive use among children and teenagers. 4 US states are leading the case, part of 29-state lawsuit filed in 2023. The states are seeking about $200 billion in penalties, along with changes to Meta's platform to strengthen protections for young users. They are calling the case social media's big tobacco moment. France will use French and European AI companies, including Mistral and Government Services, according to the Budget Minister, David Amel, who said that the plan will not include OpenAI as France wants to use AI providers it considers as sovereign. The decision comes after a cyber attack on France's tax agency in which data of about 700,000 taxpayers was stolen. The French government plans to use AI to test digital services and find possible weaknesses that could be targeted by hackers. France will use local AI and exclude OpenAI in the process. OpenAI will lease a massive new AI data center in Ohio for 20 years, with the project backed by $105 billion financing commitment from NVIDIA. The data center will be built at a former Cold War-era uranium enrichment site and could eventually reach 8 gigawatts of power capacity that could potentially make it the largest single AI data center, with the facility running exclusively on NVIDIA chips. According to OpenAI, the project could create 35,000 temporary construction jobs and about 2,500 long-term jobs as well. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman has hinted that ChatGPT could become a much more personal AI assistant within the next 6 months. In an interview, Altman described a future version of ChatGPT that could, with a user's permission, understand what is happening on their computer. He added that the AI could potentially watch computer activity, meetings, and calls, while also connecting to services such as email, text, documents, and Slack. The idea that ChatGPT would use this continuous context to help users throughout the day without them having to explain every task or situation. And from the world of sports, India's #1 men's shuttler Lakshya Sen started his Badminton World Championship on a winning note. He beat Collins Valentine Philemon from Austria in 3 games to advance to the next round. The 2021 World Championship bronze medalist had to come back from a game down to win the opening match. Singh defeated Philemon 16-21, 21-6, 21-4 to advance to the round of 32. Lakshya will next face American Garrett-Tan on Wednesday. The Indian women's hockey team crushed South Africa 6-1 to register their first win of the ongoing World Cup. Sunileta Topo, Navneet Kaur, Sushila Chanu, Deepika Laresciami and Sakshi Rani found the net to give India their biggest win in the World Cup. The Indian team had headed to the contest high on confidence, having held Olympic silver medalists China 2-2 in their opening clash. India now need only draw in their final pool game against England to progress to the next round. The stars of The Fast and Furious reunited in Los Angeles to celebrate 25 years of the iconic franchise. Michelle Rodriguez, who plays Letty, said that the cast has grown closer over the years. She added that they have shared many struggles and watched the world change together. The event was also emotional for Tyrese Gibson. He remembered his late co-star Paul Walker, who died in 2013. Walker's daughter Meadow also attended the celebration. Gibson said that Paul's presence was strongly felt throughout the event. The final film, Fast Forever, is currently scheduled to release in 2028. Cannes Palme d'Or winner Fjord is now set for release in France. Director Christian Mongeau says the film looks beyond Norway. He sees it as a reflection of the wider Western world. The story explores a growing divide between conservative and progressive views. Mongeau says similar tensions can be seen across countries including the US, France and Italy. The filmmaker also spoke about his casting choices and the current state of Romanian cinema. Sharon Stone and comedian Rami Youssef are teaming up for a new film titled Martha and Muhammad. Youssef has written the script and will make his feature directorial debut with the project. The story follows a wealthy New York widow who develops a relationship with a young man. The production is expected to begin this fall. Youssef is also known for his acclaimed series Rami, which explored the American experience. Music star Shakira is stepping up relief efforts in Colombia following a devastating earthquake. The singer visited the hard-hit Choco region and pledged to rebuild at least 10 schools. She also plans to help restore a local technological university. Her foundation has even worked in the region for more than 2 decades. International organizations have also pledged funds to support the rebuilding effort. Shakira stressed the urgency of getting children back into classrooms, saying every day away from school affects their future. That's all we could pack in this edition of Speed News. More news and updates to continue right after this break. You're watching WION World is One. Stay tuned.